Okay, we are holding in the Haggadah in the middle of beer, B'tikas Chametz and beer Chametz. We did B'tikas Chametz, and we're holding the part that says B'yem Yudal B'Shohei. It says for the second Kol after you do B'tikas Chametz, the night of B'tikas Chametz, then the next day, B'yem Yudalit, on the 14th day of Pesach, of Nisan B'Shohei, 5th hour. As you know, that when Torah, it's only Asr from Chatzos. And Chachamim made that Xeris for that before that you should already burn it, and the hour before that stop eating. So in the 5th hour, you make a separate fire for this. Piece of fenu, you should burn it. If you got lenu, you make a bittel. And what do you say? The bittel ayim. And he says, Kol Chaminat, he says for bittel ayim. Says the Rebbe, Yom Yudalid B'Shohei. Says the Rebbe, Reish Shulchan Aruch, Simentaf and Gimel, Ich Misharin Shoy Seder. You should look and see what says in Shulchan Aruch, how you estimate and you work out and figure out these hours of the day. It works from Netzach Hama to Tzeis. All these hours you divide the day according to Shoy's Manias. Why a separate fire? Why can't you just do it in something that you use? So the Beis explains, look in Tours, in Hey, Marshal, Maril, Magen Avram, and then Beis explains the Gazino not to surfei, you make a gzeder, because you might, someone finds chametz and Pesach and burns it. The Achazman is Surah no, say after time of Yisra no. So if he does it not a Medur of Niatzmei, like I have a knot from it, it's a problem. So therefore, always you make a Medur of Niatzmei, a fire, a big fire for itself, not with things that you use. Now, in the beer, in the lashon of bittul that we say on by beer chametz by day, kol chamira v'chamia, the ikar b'shusi, all these chametz and things that have chametz in it, that's in my possessions. The chazisei, udoloi chazisei, that I saw, I didn't see. The chamisei, udoloi chamisei, or I've ever noticed or I didn't notice. The va'arti that got rid of the law va'arti, didn't get rid of the bottle should become nullified. Law v'hefker should be hefker. Ka'afar the ara, like the dust of the earth. Now, what exactly is the difference between I saw and I noticed? Isn't it like repeating itself? Says the Rebbe, the chazisi, the chamisei, ef shaloimer, could say, chamisei b'shas abdika, that I saw during checking for b'dikas chametz. Chazisei, that I noticed me'elam. 2 months for Pesach, I noticed I have chametz, and it was somewhere. So therefore, you want to stress both things. Say what you saw by the bdika, you noticed some chametz, and say a long time ago, half a year ago, that you may notice some chametz. This all you are being mevatel. Next piece. It says Al Rebbe inside. If you should burn asara psisin, the 10 pieces of chametz. And by the sefer chametz, you say Yehi Ratzon. Says the Rebbe. You should burn the 10 pieces. The Rebbe is basically asking. We already said that you have to have 10 pieces going. Dikas chametz. Why is he repeating himself? You should burn the 10 pieces. He repeated it again about the 10 pieces. Sai by the checking. And also when you burn the chametz, you need to have 10 pieces. B'tikas chametz is by beer chametz. Yehi Ratzon. So you say Yehi Ratzon. So Rebbe is clear to explain. Yehi Ratzon b'sidra result, and that's the result. Hashem, it says Hashem Kai. Look at it says in a singular term, not in plural. But Al Rebbe changes it and says it in a plural. Maybe perhaps the reason why the Rebbe changes it to plural The Shina Lashon Rabbi, we change this to Lashon Rabbi. Elkeinu v'kevesinu. Why? Shem Techkach Atul Nishmas. You say it in a Lashon of Rabbim, it is the tefillah is more accepted by the Eibishter. Especially if you look weiter, it says weiter in a lesson, give us a heart of flesh to be able to serve the Eibishter. It also says a lesson of lesson plural term, not singular. So therefore, whatever changes, it should say Lekenu Kavasinu in lesson Rabim, in plural, not singular. Says the Rebbe, if so, the Hiratzin is supposed to say in a lashon of plural because that is more accepted by the Eibishter. So why by Hiratzin Ma'azi Ponim we say in the morning it is in a singular term. Morning by Birchas HaShachar. Should save me. Why doesn't it say Lashon Rabbim? If a tefillah is more nishmas, it's more accepted. When it's Lashon Rabbim, so why didn't it say Lashon Rabbim there? Also, Seif Kiddush Levana. The end of Kiddush Levana is also in a Lashon of singular. Why, if it's so important to say things in a Lashon of Rabbim, so why there, by Kiddush Levana, we don't say the Lashon Rabbim? It says in the end of Kiddush Levana, also Lashon singular, not Lashon Rabbim. And he just says, B'sidur Rashar, Yiratzin Mazipanim Lashon Rabbim. Here, Rakshuv, the Kabbalistic Siddur, it says there in Lashon Rabbim, the Azipanim in the morning. Says the Shara Kel, Mashkos Shara Kel, the Rebbe's great grandfather, Avram David Lavut, in the Shara Kel says, Al Yiratzim Azipanim. Why in Azipanim does it say in Lashon Yachid? Because we don't say it with a tzibur, with a crowd. We say it our own in the house. Actually, the Polish say it in shul. They get up, the chazan gets up and says it by the amit. But we don't do that. We do it at home, right when we wake up. So since it's Lashon, we're not with them tzibur, so we don't say it in Lashon Rabbi. The Rebbe doesn't accept it so fast. The Rebbe says it's not so simple. Because bir chametz, we also technically there be a crowd there, but it's not meant to be with a crowd. So therefore, so why if it's not for a big crowd, so why did Al change it to be Lashon Rabbi? Especially this year, it's definitely not big crowd. So it says in the Hiratzin, we turn to Hashem and say, just like I'm getting rid of, I'm burning the chametz of my house, or Rishusi, for my possessions. Kachtevar, you should get rid of, you should burn, is kol ha'chitzonim, all the klippos. V'such ha'tum ha'tavron ha'sekreif nords. V'esitzenu hara, and the Yitzhar that we have, taverinu mitan, take away from us. V'titlanu leibasar, give us a heart of flesh. V'avdecha be'emes, to serve you with the truth. Choset ra'ach kol klippos, choset ra'ach and all the klippos, kol harisha ba'oshim tichla. Get rid of it with smoke, with fire. Destroy the sitra achra and all the klippos and all the weakness in smoke. Says the Rebbe, B'oshen tichla, Chenu b'tfilas Rosh Hashanah v'Yom Kippurim. Same thing is the same lashon we have in the davenings of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Bebeis, B'oshen tichla. Why? Lashon HaKos, like it says in the pasuk, Kulu b'oshen, Kalu b'oshen kalu. Uses the term B'oshen. Now it says Beruach bar u'v'ruach mishpat. Chol ha'meikim the Shechina back in the Yirasin. Whoever is bothering the Shechina, Tivarein, get rid of them. Beruach bar uveruach mishpat. Destroy all those who oppose the Shechina with a spirit of destruction and a spirit of justice. Asks the Rebbe, Look at the Rebbe says, Baruch bar Baruch Mishpat, Lashon HaKasav, what's the Lashon of the Pasuk in Yeshaya? Baruch Mishpat, Baruch bar. It says first Mishpat and then bar. And here we say bar and then Mishpat. Why do we change the order? Again, bar is instruction and Mishpat is justice. The fact that here, by the Ratzon of Bikas Chametz, we say bar before Mishpat is understood. Why? Because in the Pasuk in Yeshaya, the Rebbe is talking about cleansing the even from their Averis. To wash out, to refine, the sins of the daughters of Tzion, the Pasuk. So, Yediach Baruch Mishpat. The Rebbe will wash the ruach of justice, rachmi, which is mercy. Like Rashi says, be Yisurim. Like a father that smacks his child, he doesn't mean to hurt his child. He means to educate him. And for him to educate him in this instance, he needs to give him a little punch. So the Eibishter, in order to clean us, he has to sometimes give us a little bit of Yisurim. So it's done really with Rachmim. So therefore it says, Beruach Mishpat first, because Eibishter does Rachmim, and whatever's left over, Mashishar B'Leibir, or whatever's left over that can't be uplifted, Yivarmin Oilam Baruch Bar, that will be destroyed. Rest, Chitzenius, whatever's not left over, that Eibishter will destroy. Aval Khan, but here we're talking about the Klippas. In order, we're talking about Klippas, that bothered the Shechina. Yivar Baruch Bar, first will destroy. Whatever is left in the Tzutzik Kedusha, Chol and Tzutzik Kedusha, Shechitzainim, Yankim Hem, the Klippa, we're getting chayas from it, we're getting nourishment from it. Yadiach Baruch Mishpat, that he will clean with a Ruach Mishpat, with justice, because it's the Tzutzis, he's going to save. L'zachacham, to refine it. That explains why the change of Lashon. And this Rebbe quotes from his great grandfather, Tishar HaKeilul, Rebbe Avram David Lavut. And when we finish off the Yiratzen, Kshem Shim V'artas Mitzrayim Seleheyim, just like you got rid of the Mitzrayim and their gods, the Yom HaMahem in those days, Ubizman Hazeh, and in our times. Amen Selah. Correct the Rebbe, everything's exact. Why does it say Ubizman Hazeh? When we say the brachas, we say B'Yom HaMahem Bizman Hazeh. We don't say Ubizman Hazeh. So why the extra vav? B'Yom HaMahem Ubizman Hazeh. V'cheinu b'sidra harashar. Also in the Kabbalistic Sefer, a siddur is there. Tzarchiyah. Rebbe says, I don't understand. All the tefillas says Bizman, not Ubizman. We don't find an extra vav. B'sidra Yaakov kanu l'nochim Bizman b'lei vav. B'sidra Yaakov, Yitaka writes Bizman without vav. Now, just the concept of chametz, says the Rebbe, bir chametz. It says a couple of things have to do with chametz. Man de ochel chametz, the Pesach, keman de polach l'kacham mazos. Whoever eats chametz on Pesach is as if he served idols. He served the moon and the stars. Another thing. Harizal Kosaf, the Rizal wrote, Hanizar mimashu chametz on Pesach, whoever is so careful with even a drop of chametz on Pesach, muftachla, he is promised, guaranteed, he will not sin a whole year. Reitiv, Reish, Simen, Tafman Zayin. Says the Rebbe, it must be that you won't sin by mistake. But if you want to sin on purpose, you have the Bechira Chavshis. You have freedom of choice to sin. So the reason doesn't mean you're not going to eat chametz, okay, you can let your guard down the whole year and do what you want. It doesn't work that way. You won't do any sin by mistake. So definitely he has freedom of choice. Who Gamos also then he has the freedom of choice to sin. So by the fact that you eat the chametz is not going to help you for meza, but it's going to help you for shegi. Then it goes into the carbon Pesach. We say on our Pesach after Mincha, a small synopsis of Korban Pesach. So the Yavitz asked a number of questions on it. He felt that some things were missing. So the Rebbe justifies what was missing, that it's not so important. Look carefully. Mishal Meforim. So the Rebbe just says, the Lashon Al Rebbe says, just going to read what the Al Rebbe says before the Seder Pesach. Mishal Meforim Sasenu. When we say about the carbon, it's as if we brought the carbon. And mincha is in the place of the carbon of in the afternoon, the time of the afternoon. The Pesach was shechted after Korban Shmini Abayim. Usually, all carbonates have to be before Korban Shmini Abayim. However, Korban Pesach made an exception. That first was done the Korban Shmini Abayim, and then they did the Korban Pesach. So after Mincha and Erev Pesach, you learn the Korban Pesach, the Seder Korban Pesach. So Kein Roi, therefore it's appropriate. Last sake, the Seder Korban Pesach should work and deal with this reading the Seder Korban Pesach. After Tfas Mincha, the Yomer Ozin should say this Seder Korban Pesach afterwards. So the Rebbe notes, Shalom Forim. So Bashiri Lashon Tzas is there a little bit different. Inshallah, and see there are reasons. Okay. Korban Pesach. The Siddur Yavitz, and the Siddur Yavitz, Hiksha al Seder Zeh Kamakushis. He asked a number of questions on this Seder. The cost of Lo'im Ibn Sachachar, therefore he said the Seder different Lashon. Now, the Rebbe doesn't accept it, obviously, and he quotes this Lashon. So the Rebbe is going to justify why the Rebbe kept this Nusach. Occasionally, Hiksha Bash Rabbeinu Hevi B'chol Zeh Lashon Seder. Not sure what the state is. They say that again. You shouldn't have any questions. You shouldn't have a question. Why that Rebbe does quote to say that in this lashon, it does not change it like the Yavitz. Rebbe's going to quote the 5 questions of the Yavitz. He's going to answer it. Question number 1. Aleph. Does not explain exactly the time to bring it. And if Erev Pesach falls out on Erev Shabbos, they did it earlier in order not to have to finish roasting it before Pesach started. Now, it was done to Thomas Ben Abayim a certain time, a regular Pesach, and earlier 6.5 hours, and Erev Pesach Shachalis Erev Shabbos. Why doesn't he mention that? That's the Rebbe's question. The Rebbe's going to answer. The Rebbe's answer is like this. Shleimar say the kingdom say the Korban Pesach. Since the reason why we are saying the Korban Pesach is to be as if we're bringing a Korban Pesach. They were not obligated people to say an exact time when the Korban Pesach will start. If we want to do it exactly, so exactly in 6.5 hours, you should start saying Mincha and you should start saying Korban Pesach. There's no such chiyuv. Any time in the afternoon from half an hour after Chatzei, you get have a Mincha and Erev Pesach and say the Korban Pesach. So since they didn't say exact time, that means they weren't mechayiv you to do that. It's enough to say it any time that was allowed to bring the Korban Pesach. Just like Mincha. Mincha doesn't have to be the exact time. It's late on Salat, so therefore, since you don't have to, they don't want to mention it. If they're going to mention it, that's going to be a contradiction to the concept of Neshama Farim Sasenu. We want to accomplish by saying the Korban Pesach as if we're bringing a carbon, and you're going to say it an hour before Shkia, you're supposed to bring it in the 6.5 hours. That's not Shama Farim Sasenu. You're contradicting yourself. So therefore, they decided to take that out. They don't want to mention this Nusach Shea Pesach Korf Mechsa that they brought in the 8.5 hour. That's when they start bringing Korban Pesach in a regular Pesach. Kiva not be since usually you're busy at Pesach, you make the murder and the charesis and everything else. It's hard to expect from every single person to say the exact time you started Korban Pesach. So if you're going to say that it was brought in that time and you're saying it a much later time, you're contradicting to the concept of Neshama Farim Sasenu. That's not what we want to accomplish. We want to accomplish as if we brought a Korban Pesach. And since it's kosher later, they took out this concept. Seiser is contradicting himself. He's saying it in the 10th and a half hour, and it's really, you have to bring in the 8th and a half hour. That's taking care of question number 1. Question number 2. Guy that's asked doesn't say that you have to be a person that's able to get to Yerushalayim. You have to be tar from a zav, not tmei, because the whole thing, if most of the crowd was tamei, they did bring it to tamei mace. But other tumas, they didn't want to get into details. Only if you're tar, you have to be able to get to Yerushalayim. Because the same thing we said before. Because we are not tar, and we can't get to Yerushalayim. So we're contradicting. So we're saying that our whole Shalom Farm Saseno, our whole saying it as if bringing a carbon is worth nothing. We don't want to do that. We want it to sound like we are bringing a carbon. So we don't want to contradict ourselves. So we're not mentioning these details. Then can we say sling in Shalom Farm? It's contradicting the concept in Shalom Farm canal, like I said before. Question number 3. Doesn't say the difference how they took off the skin when it was Shabbos. Even if you're going to say that they did it differently on Shabbos. It's only talking about taking the skin. These are details are not important. Different didn't get into it. Dalit. He says simply that the tail is brought. And they're not saying, it's only if it's sheep. Because by a goat, they don't bring the aliyah. It was not usual to bring a goat. Usually they brought sheep. Most sheep was with kasim, and there they did bring the aliyah. So therefore, he does mention that he bring the aliyah. In Gemara Pesachim, it's a story with a goy that wanted to trick the Yidden, and he went to the Beis Hamikdash, and he had a Korban Pesach. He came back to Rabbi Yehuda, and he told him, I tricked the Yidden. I ate from the Korban Pesach. He asked him, did he give you the aliyah? He says, no. Go back and ask them. They went and asked him, and he said, who told you to say the aliyah? Rabbi Yehuda. They figured out, what is Yakan China? I don't need the aliyah. So therefore, they looked into it and they figured out he was a goy. He asked Eisves, but Eis is not, he says most of them were fuss. It's the same answer here. The reason why he mentions they did bring the aliyah, because it is most Korban Pesachs from sheep. But that's still a question. Hey, question number 8. Nishbetu Pratit Tzli is a Pesach Nekurit Achilasi. Doesn't say all the details of how you roast it and then you take out the different things that you shouldn't eat and how you eat it. Here we're talking about the market Pesach. Therefore, we don't get into the details of later how you clean it, how you eat it, and how you roast it for eating it. Now we're talking about the korban. And this is all things you do later, not now. If you only mention the general. Sorry, 6th question, Vav. We said that we bring, if the Korban Pesach is brought on weekday, then we bring also Chagiga. Why we bring the Chagiga? Because the Pesach is supposed to be eaten ala seva, to be full. So you bring another carbon to have more meat by the meal. That way you eat the Korban Pesach ala seva. So why doesn't he mention the Chagiga Sitai? The truth is, the Yavis already explains it himself. Shleimer, like the Yavis himself said, Shenishpat, it was taken away, it was excluded. It's only Rishus. It's not a chiyuv. In the Bob, Shabbos, also we don't bring it Shabbos. Or B'meruba, too many guys brought it. Or B'tumah, if they brought B'tumah, they don't bring Chagiga. So many times, they don't bring the Korban Chagiga, so therefore he didn't mention it. Weiter, so he mentions the Korban Pesach, that they brought, the Kohen first took the full keli, and then he gave back the old keli of blood. First he gets the kli malei, and then he give back the empty one. Why does he take first the full one? You first take the thing that's closer to you. Whenever you have a mitzvah, take what's closer to you, take that, and then you take back the other one. Who is the halal? The Levim used to read it. Taken, and who blew b'chatzitz is the Kohanim. The nois nim, they would give. Just a second. I'm trying to find where it says the next thing. Finance. He says it's supposed to be nice. No. Okay, we're just going to read to you the end after the Seder Korban Pesach is very, very important to read it, to know it. What we say the Korban Pesach is that's very, very short about the Korban Pesach. The person that is a God-fearing person. He's scared for the word of Hashem, he wants what Hashem wants. Likr says to read it, it's money in its right time. Shtalik Riyosei, that his reading should be the Mokim Akravosei, as if he brought a Korban Pesach. The Yidigal Korban Abayis, you should be worried that the Korban Abayis is Chazik Pnei Hashem, he should be Yischanel Pnei Hashem, he should ask mercy to the Eibishter. The creator of the world, Shibona Oisei, the man of Minimam, she should build, should build the Galei Samidash.